All right, welcome back. You see I've got my UCF shirt here. We're in the garden. We are recreating sort of the Platonic tradition of talking about philosophy and morality and ethics outdoors, below a tree. I want to talk now about duty ethics as a response to consequentialism. And duty ethics we often associate with this Prussian, now Prussia is part, sort of straddles Germany and Poland, the northern part. This philosopher Immanuel Kant. So it's often, duty ethics is often referred to as Kantian ethics. And Kant was a very, very controversial figure in that he held these very, I just discovered he held these very sexist and even racist views. But his moral philosophy is considered very powerful. Because what Kant does, and I'll just go to the good side of Kantian philosophy or duty ethics, is what he does is he secularizes ethics. What he does is he basically says, look, even if you're not a believer in God or religion or what have you, you still have a duty to do good. But what does that duty consist of? And here's the rub. Kant himself formulated this duty, this ethical duty in many various ways. Some people like to call it a categorical imperative. Act as you would, as if you were following a universal law. Kant also said, formulated it in terms of ends and means, where he says, look, human dignity, you have to treat people as ends and not means. My criticism of these traditional Kantian formulations of duty ethics is that they're a little bit general, right? We need guidance for specific situations. And so the way I like to really understand and teach Kant, or the categorical imperative, the idea of human dignity, of treating people as ends and not means, is the golden rule. What Kant essentially does is he secularizes the golden rule from the Bible. And some variant of the so-called golden rule or silver rule, depending on the formulation, is found in almost every religious tradition. So this is a very powerful theory that Kant expounds. And the golden rule is basically, right, treat people the way you want to be treated, or don't do the things to people that you don't want them to do to you. The reason why I say that's Kantian is because it's universal, right? You have to apply, and reversible, universal and reversible. Same rules for everyone. You have to apply the same rules to yourself that you would apply to other people and vice versa. This is why I think a lot of people are justifiably upset at police misconduct, for example, George Floyd case, right? Everybody should be held to the same standards, the same rules. And so duty ethics, right? That's why I call it duty ethics. The fancy term is deontology, but duty is really what we're about here. One problem with duty ethics, and I'm very sympathetic to the duty ethics tradition, but one problem is you're going to see is when we talk about animal rights shortly is, well, to whom do these duties extend to? Do they only extend to your fellow citizens? Do they extend to humanity as a whole? Do they extend to our non-human animal friends, right? How far are these duties, right? How universal, how timeless, that kind of thing. There's other criticisms we can make, but that is a serious one, and that's why we'll talk about animal rights later. Now, another way of dealing with another major theory of ethics, I will talk about, third major theory I'll talk about in my next short video lecture. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.